What's up, YouTube? I am Bob Sixx, and this is Sixx Daze. Alright, first things first, you'll notice I'm not using a stationary camera today, so it might be a little shaky. And if you're one of those people that's overly sensitive and prone to being butthurt, go ahead and stop watching right now. Because while I'm not judging people, this is going to get pretty brutal. I mean, I don't think I'm judging. But I want to discuss the difference between excuses and the real reason. Because excuses are just a way of trying to justify failure. Period. It's trying to take the sting off of failing, and whatever it is. When we start that as kids, and so by the time you're an adult, you may honestly think, well, that's the reason. When you're a kid, well, Timmy told me to do it, or Betty Joe Bucktooth told me to do it. Whoever the fuck, you put the blame on someone else instead of you. Unless they physically made you do something, you made a choice and you did it. Now you're a child, so you're allowed several fuck-ups. But as an adult, you shouldn't be doing that shit. You should outgrow it. Teenagers are really bad about it. I'll tell you a story. 100% true. I am not embellishing this story at all. When we lived in Germany, when we first got there, we lived in off-post housing. And later we got moved to on-post. But lived in a little German community. And, well, naturally. In between the summer between me being 13 years old and turning 14, I shot up from 5'7" to 6'1". Yeah, that wasn't awkward at all. But anyways, I was dating a German girl who was older than me. So naturally, she didn't have her curfew. And my parents were pretty lenient with me. I was a big guy and relatively safe in this small town. So I was allowed to stay out later than most. Well, we were really the only American family in that town. But most of my friends weren't allowed to stay out as late as I was. But I kept staying out later and later, pushing my parents later and later. And my dad got on to me several times. So I would just come in, and the next morning when he asked me what time I came in, I'd lie. So we all were asleep. He didn't know. So finally he decided, I mean, he knew, but he didn't know. And he knew I would lie about it to my grave. I'd just go. So the apartment we lived in used the same key to lock the inside and out of the door. Not an old skeleton key like in the movies, a real key like you use now. But if you put the key on the inside into the lock, you couldn't put the key in from the outside and unlock the door. So I came home at 3:30 something in the morning. It was probably closer to 4, but 3:30 something. My 14-year-old mind did not think, well, I could have just slept in the hallway. I'd have been safe. We had a locked stairwell. You couldn't get in unless somebody buzzed you in or you had the code. But I could have slept in the stairwell and just said, well, the door was locked. So I just slept out here. No, my 14-year-old mind told me to set my digital watch back 4 hours. I knocked on the door. My dad wanted to know why I was coming in so late. And I literally held my watch up to his face and tapped on it and said, it's only 11:30. I'm actually coming in early. The fact that my dad didn't literally shit kittens or punch me tells you how calm and well balanced my dad was. He just told me to get my ass in bed and we'd talk about it next day, and I got some little mox nix punishment. Punishment didn't really work well on me. And the reason it didn't really work well is because I spent my early years getting the shit beat out of me by my biological father. Please note, I'm not asking for sympathy. I don't want you to feel bad and go, oh, I'm so sorry you went through that. Don't say that. I am fine. Well, I have mental issues, but I control them. Ask my kids. Which brings me to, let's amp this up a little bit, excuses to what extremes we go through or go to. If you beat your children, your excuse is, my parents did it to me and I turned out just fine. No, you didn't. You're beating your fucking kids. You're smart enough to know it's wrong. Your parents did what they did because it was done to them. The farther back you go, the worse it was done. Each generation gets a little more laxed with their discipline. Part of the reason we're in the fucked up situation we're in. But you don't have to abuse someone to punish them. I do believe in negative reinforcement. I spanked my kids, but I didn't beat them like I got beat. Why? Because I know it's wrong. My violent nature, those of you that know me know I used to be very violent as a child. I have those tendencies now. My natural instinct, it's just like breathing. When you piss me off, is to punch you. Period. Every time. It's not just once in a while. It's not something particular that sets me off. It's my natural instinct to punch you. In my head, I'm screaming, don't do it, it's wrong, you know it's fucked up, don't do it, it's not worth it. And I don't do it. I don't think I've punched someone in over 20 years. Doesn't mean I won't, so don't confuse that. But your excuse for beating your children, and it is an excuse, period. There is no other reason for it, is because your parents did it to you. Oddly enough, the reason you think it's okay, or that it's the correct thing to do, is because your parents did it to you. It's not. There's other ways to do it, other better, more effective ways, and you're not hurting your child. Abusing your child's a better word, because what we got was abuse. Here we go, step farther. When I see and or hear stories about child molesters, and they all go, well, I was molested when I was a kid, and that's why I do this to children. No. Survey says, that's not the reason you do it to children. That's your lame-ass excuse for why you do it to children. The reason you do it is you have something wrong with you. You're a scumbag piece of shit, and you have something wrong with you. And the reason I say that is, I have mental issues. I don't abuse children. I don't abuse animals. Those of you that abuse animals, you're a scumbag piece of shit too. I was molested as a child by a female. She didn't hurt me, so it wasn't like a horrible experience. But if being molested as a child made you a child molester, I would be one. I didn't have a bad experience. I didn't get hurt. So I would assume it's okay. But it's not, and I know it's not. And I've never even had the desire to harm a child like that. So that's how I know that what you're saying is just an excuse. The real reason is, once again, you have something wrong with you, and you're a scumbag piece of shit. Unfortunately, there's only one cure, and most people frown upon what will cure you of molesting children. I'm all for it, but that's just me. I hear people all the time give excuses for why they are where they are at in life. All of those are excuses. Period. Not one of them even if it's based on something legit, not one of them is the real reason you're where you're at. If you were honest with yourself about the real reason, you could make some changes. But when I hear people say, well, I can't get a better job because I've got face tattoos, or I've got body piercings, or body mods, or I'm black, or I'm white, or I'm yellow, or I'm green, or I'm too tall, or my hair's too long, my hair's a funky color. Is there discrimination? Abso-fucking-lutely. There is. The guy at Chick-fil-A, it's his right. You don't have to fucking eat there. It's his right to do whatever he wants to with his restaurant. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying I agree with him at all. But it's his right. In the Hobby Lobby family, same fucking thing. They don't have to fucking hire you. You don't have to work there. You could get a job somewhere else. There are other ways of making money. But you have to be honest with yourself. Do you want to work? You know, am I willing to do whatever I need to do? I am. Whatever it takes to provide for my family, I'll do. Whatever it keeps me from being on the street starving. I've been fucking homeless. And it fucking sucks. Been a drug addict. Can't say that sucked, but I know it's not where I wanted to be. Been alcoholic. Literally almost drank myself to death. I was told when I was 28, I believe it was, that if I didn't quit drinking, I wouldn't see my 32nd birthday. I'm 51. Oh, that's my sign of bad. No teeth. There we go. Anyways, people find a ton of excuses for failing. Look at history. Those of you that scream, well, I can't get a job because they're discriminating or they're racist. Really? Or we're poor. We don't have shit. I don't have the advantage. You know how many rich people are not successful? I know, as weird as that sounds. Mommy and Daddy had all the money. They support Junior because they're trying to be good parents. You know how many rich failures there are? They got money so you don't notice they're a failure. They're not doing any fucking thing. But do you know how many people who were just as poor as you are, living in fucking high crime neighborhoods and had nothing and have made it? Do you know why? They didn't make excuses. They overcame all of those excuses. And some of you may say right now, well, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The proof is there. Look at the history or the bio of a lot of these people that you admire. Nobody gave them what they have. They went out and earned it. They busted ass. They did what it took to make it. Does it mean you're going to make it? No. No, it doesn't. But if you give it your all, at least you know you gave it your all. You didn't fail for a lack of trying. So don't say, well, I just can't do this and I just can't do that. Excuse, 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 excuse. Be real with yourself. If you're not going to be real with anybody else in the world, be real with yourself. Not, well, I can't get a job because I've got body piercings or tattoos. There's jobs where it doesn't fucking matter what you look like, but you got to want to do the job. The place where I work, my main job, I see little fuckers coming there all the time. We have such a high turnover because everybody wants a job, but guess what? Not everybody wants to work. I've been there almost 20 years. Not that I'm a big fan of the company, but it pays the bills and I only have to work 3 days a week there. Allows me to do my other job, my 2 businesses. Shit, I'm already coming up on 15 minutes. But it makes people feel better to make excuses for why they're being held down or why they can't get ahead or why they can't do this. Fuck that. Go to YouTube. You're already on YouTube if you're watching this. Search for the guy who played with no arms that plays guitar. And it's not shitty. It's good. He actually plays bass in a band. But he's a street performer earning money. Playing guitar with his feet and singing. Go look at it. So your excuse for why you can't get ahead? Oh, it's just so hard. Again, let me reiterate. I've been homeless. I've been at the end of my rope. More than once, I've hit rock bottom and got back up and went on. Even bums on the street begging for money, I'm sure they have a ton of excuses why they're there on the streets, but they're not giving up. They're out there trying every day. You don't think they know? People talk shit about them? People fuck with them and make fun of them? If you're not a bum on the street, if you're watching this, there's no reason for you not to be trying. If a guy with no arms can earn a living playing a guitar, you with both your arms and both your legs can get out and earn a fucking living. Get a job, no matter how shitty it is. If you have a job and have money coming in, you can look for another job. You can better yourself. People that discriminate against you because the way you look, what you believe, oddly enough, because I don't believe in God, it's kind of frowned upon if I talk about my beliefs at work. No big deal, it doesn't change who I am. You have to make decisions in life. Do I want to earn a living, or do I want to be a pothead, or whatever your fucking thing is? Because the company I work for, even in the states where pot's legal, you can't smoke pot. Even if you have a prescription for it, you can't smoke pot. Doesn't mean you can't smoke pot. It means you can't smoke pot and work there. You have a choice to make. No, you didn't get fired because you pissed hot. Well, you did get fired because you pissed hot, but you were told not to do it. You made a choice. I choose to keep my job. Don't smoke weed, don't do coke, none of that shit. I don't even take too many prescription pills because if you take more than it says on the bottle, you're fired. That's considered drug addiction. But I make a choice. I'm trying to end this shit. I'm already at 17 minutes. I know most of you ain't even here watching this. Maybe a few of you. But stop making excuses. Look at the real reason you're where you're at and get the fuck up and go. Do something. Stop letting excuses hold you back. That's the only thing holding you back. Imagine all of your excuses. You grab 2 handfuls of pea gravel, get in a swimming pool, and try to swim holding those 2 hands. Can you stay afloat? Yes. Let go of those excuses, i.e. the little pebbles, and watch how much better you can swim. So stop making excuses why you're not where you're at and want to be in life. Every person is moving slow. Like I said the other day, I used to laugh when I saw fat people jogging or walking fast. But now I always say something encouraging. I don't yell out the window because then it comes off of being a dick. But I always tell them to go, because for every person, no matter how slow they're moving, that's headed towards their goal, they're doing better than the fuckers who are just standing around bitching. One thing I always say, oh shit, I got really close, sorry. One thing I always say, and I'm going to say it again as I wind this up, is I live life by the rules of baseball. And I know for a fact the only way to get a hit in baseball is to step up to the plate and swing. Swinging doesn't always guarantee you to get a hit, but not swinging guarantees that you don't get one or won't get one. So, for those of you that didn't see my post, this will be the last serious one for a little while. I'm going to try to take a break, and I'm going to try to do some funny ones or lighthearted ones or positive ones, but people request this kind of stuff, so I covered it. Son of a bitch, I'm about to hit 20 minutes. Alright, I truly appreciate y'all that are watching, especially if you've watched to this point. I'm not doing a giveaway this time because it's a little dark, and but if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you know someone who has subscribed, or should subscribe, they might dig what I'm saying, tell them to subscribe too. Alright, until next time, hope you have a great day. If you get the chance, make someone laugh. Peace!